Louisville, Kentucky, February 1960. A 18-year-old Cassius Clay walks into a downtown diner at 7:23 a.m., wearing his Olympic gold medal around his neck. The waitress looks at him, looks at the medal, says 4 words that will haunt him forever. "We don't serve Negroes." What happens in the next 6 minutes doesn't just change Clay's life. It plants a seed of rage so deep, so profound, that 7 years later it will cost him everything: his title, his freedom, his prime. And it starts with a bridge, a gold medal, and 87 cents. Let me take you back further. Rome, September 5, 1960. 18-year-old Cassius Clay stands on an Olympic podium, gold medal hanging from his neck. The American national anthem plays. He's crying, not because he won, though he did, dominated the light heavyweight division. Didn't even lose a round, but because of what this medal represents. His trainer back in Louisville, a white police officer named Joe Martin, told him before he left, "You go over there and win that gold medal, and when you come home, everything will be different. They'll see you as a champion, as an American. The color of your skin won't matter anymore." Clay believed him, had to believe him, because what's the alternative? That all the training, all the sacrifice, all the discipline means nothing if you're black in America. So he stands on that podium, gold medal heavy around his neck, and he makes a promise to himself. "This medal is my ticket, my proof. When I get home, everything changes." The flight back to America takes 14 hours. Clay doesn't sleep, just holds that medal, polishes it with his shirt, practices what he'll say to reporters, how he'll walk into places that never let him in before. He lands in New York. Press conference at the airport, cameras flashing, reporters shouting questions. "Cassius, how does it feel to represent America?" "It feels like I finally earned my place," Clay says, grinning that famous grin. "I'm an Olympic champion now. I'm not just Cassius Clay from Louisville. I'm an American hero." The reporters love it. Write it down. Flash more photos. Clay takes a bus back to Louisville. 4-hour ride. He wears the medal the entire time. People on the bus recognize him. Some congratulate him. Others, white passengers, mostly just stare. Don't say anything. Just stare. He arrives in Louisville late afternoon. His parents, Cassius Clay Sr. and Odessa Clay, meet him at the bus station. His mother cries, hugs him so tight he can barely breathe. His father doesn't cry, just looks at the medal, looks at his son, says quietly, "I'm proud of you, boy. But don't let that medal fool you. You're still a Negro in Kentucky." Clay shakes his head. "No, Daddy, things are different now. You'll see." The next morning, February 16, 1960, 7:15 a.m. Clay wakes up early, puts on his best clothes, a clean white shirt, pressed pants, polished shoes, and of course, the medal. Wears it around his neck. His mother asks where he's going. "Downtown," Clay says. "I'm getting breakfast at Jernigan's Diner, a white Sony restaurant on 4th Street. The kind of place Clay has walked past 1,000 times, but never entered. The kind of place with white tablecloths, real silverware, and a menu in the window advertising the best breakfast in Louisville, 7 cents. His mother goes quiet. "Cassius, Mama, I'm an Olympic champion. I represented this country. I earned the right to eat wherever I want." She doesn't argue, just watches her son walk out the door. That gold medal catching the morning light. Clay walks 12 blocks to Jernigan's. The streets are mostly empty. A few cars pass. Some drivers honk, recognize him from the newspaper photos. Clay waves, feels invincible. He reaches Jernigan's at 7:23 a.m., stands outside for a moment, looks at his reflection in the window, straightens his medal, takes a deep breath, pushes open the door. The bell above the door rings. Every head in the restaurant turns. Maybe 20 people inside, all white, businessmen reading newspapers, elderly couples sharing coffee, a family with 2 young kids. Conversation stops. Forks pause midair. Coffee cups freeze halfway to lips. Clay walks to the counter, sits on a stool. The leather squeaks under him. A waitress approaches. Middle-aged white woman, blonde hair in a tight bun, tired eyes. Her name tag says Helen. She looks at Clay. looks at the medal around his neck. Her expression doesn't change. "Can I help you?" Her voice is flat, cold. Clay smiles, his biggest, most charming smile. Points to the menu. "Yes, ma'am. I'd like the champion's breakfast, please. Eggs, bacon, toast, and coffee. The 87-cent special." Helen doesn't write anything down, just stares at him. "We don't serve Negroes," she says. 4words.com/matter-of-fact, like she's telling him they're out of orange juice. Clay's smile falters. He touches his medal. "Ma'am, I don't think you understand. I'm Cassius Clay. I just won a gold medal for America at the Olympics in Rome." "I know who you are," Helen says. "Saw you in the paper. Congratulations on your medal. But we don't serve Negroes. You'll have to leave." The restaurant is dead silent. 20 pairs of eyes watching. No one says anything. No one stands up to defend him. A few look uncomfortable. Most just stare. Clay doesn't move. "But I'm an Olympic champion. I represented this country." "That don't change the rules," Helen says. "Now please leave before I call the manager." Clay's hands are shaking. He presses them flat against the counter. "I just want breakfast. I have money. I can pay." Helen's voice gets harder. "Boy, I'm not going to tell you again. Get out. Now." The word hangs in the air. Boy, not young man, not sir, not even Cassius. Boy. Clay stands up slowly. His legs feel weak. He looks around the restaurant. Makes eye contact with some of the customers. A businessman in a gray suit. An elderly woman with white hair. The father with 2 kids. None of them say anything. They just look away. Clay walks to the door. Pushes it open. The bell rings again. He steps outside into the cold February morning. The door closes behind him. Clay stands on the sidewalk, outside Jernigan's for 5 full minutes. Doesn't move. Just stands there, one hand touching his gold medal. People walk past. A few recognize him. "Hey, aren't you that boxer?" No one stops. Finally, Clay starts walking. Not toward home. Just walking, aimless. He finds himself at the 2nd Street Bridge. The bridge that crosses the Ohio River, connecting Louisville to Indiana. He's been here 1,000 times. Used to come here as a kid. Skip rocks into the water. It's 8:47 a.m. now. The bridge is empty. Cold wind coming off the river. Clay stands at the edge of the bridge, hands gripping the railing. Looks down at the brown water below. He takes the medal off, holds it in his hands. The gold catches the morning sun. This was supposed to change everything, he thinks. This was supposed to make me equal, but it didn't. He's still the same person he was before Rome. Still can't eat at Jernigan's. Still called boy. By a waitress who probably didn't finish high school. His trainer was wrong. His mother was right. His father was right. The medal means nothing. Clay looks at it one more time. The engravings, his name, light heavyweight champion, the Olympic rings. Then, he throws it into the Ohio River. The medal arcs through the air, glints in the sunlight, splashes into the brown water, sinks, gone. Clay stands there for another hour. Cars pass behind him. The sun gets higher. He doesn't move. Finally, he turns around, starts walking home. When he gets home, his mother sees his face, sees he's not wearing the medal anymore. "What happened?" she asks. Clay doesn't answer, just goes to his room, closes the door. He doesn't come out for 2 days. 3 weeks later, March 1960, Clay is at the gym, hitting the heavy bag. Not training for a fight, just hitting, trying to work something out. A man walks in. Clay has seen him around Louisville. Malcolm Little, though most people know him by his other name now, Malcolm X. Malcolm isn't famous yet, won't be for another few years. But in Louisville's black community, word travels. This man from the Nation of Islam, this man who refuses to smile for white people, who refuses to apologize for being black people, talk about him. Malcolm walks up to Clay, doesn't introduce himself, just says, "I heard what happened at Clay stops hitting the bag. "Everyone heard. I heard about the medal, too," Malcolm says. "The river." Clay doesn't respond. Malcolm says, "Can I tell you something?" Clay shrugs. "That medal," Malcolm says, "was never yours. It was always theirs. They let you win it so you could come home and show other Negroes that if they work hard enough, if they're good enough, they can be equal. But you learned the truth, didn't you? You can be the best in the world, and it still won't matter. Not to them. Clay feels anger rising in his chest. So what am I supposed to do? Just accept it? No, Malcolm says. You're supposed to understand it. You can't win their game by their rules. You have to change the game entirely. How? Malcolm looks at Clay like he's sizing him up. How old are you? 18? You're going to be heavyweight champion of the world one day, Malcolm says. It's not a question. It's a statement of fact. Clay blinks. How do you know? Because I see it in your eyes. You've got something most fighters don't have. You've got intelligence. You've got charisma. And now, after Jernigan's, you've got rage. That's the combination that makes champions. Malcolm continues, but you need to decide what kind of champion you're going to be. You can be the kind they want, smiling, grateful, staying in your lane, making them comfortable. Or you can be the kind they fear, unapologetic, uncompromising, unbreakable. Clay asks, what's the difference? The difference, Malcolm says, is one of them gets to eat at Jernigan's. The other one makes Jernigan's irrelevant. Clay doesn't understand. Not yet, but the seed is planted. Malcolm reaches into his pocket, pulls out a small book, hands it to Clay. Read this, Malcolm says. When you're ready to talk again, find me. The book is the autobiography of Malcolm X, not even published yet, just a manuscript, pages held together with a rubber band. Clay takes it. Malcolm nods, walks out. Clay stands there holding the manuscript, opens it to the first page, starts reading. He reads all night. 4 years later, February 1964. Clay, now 22 years old, has just done the impossible. Beaten Sonny Liston, the most feared man in boxing. The man everyone said couldn't be beaten. Clay knocked him out. Became heavyweight champion of the world. The morning after the fight, Clay holds a press conference. Reporters expect him to be grateful, humble, to thank America for the opportunity. Instead, Clay drops a bomb. I don't have to be who you want me to be, he says. I'm free to be who I want. A reporter asks, what does that mean? Clay looks directly into the camera. It means Cassius Clay is a slave name. I don't want it anymore. My name is Muhammad Ali now. The room explodes. Reporters shouting questions. Cameras flashing. Chaos. You're joining the black Muslims. Someone yells. I'm joining the Nation of Islam, Ali confirms. Malcolm X is my spiritual advisor. But you fought for America. Another reporter shouts. You won a gold medal for this country. Ali's face hardens, and for just a moment, everyone in that room sees it, the boy who stood outside Jernigan's diner, the boy who threw his medal into a river, the boy who learned that excellence means nothing without respect. I won a medal, Ali says quietly. Then I tried to buy an 87-cent breakfast. They called me boy and told me to leave. So don't talk to me about what I did for America. Talk to me about what America did for me. Silence. Then Ali continues, louder now. That gold medal didn't get me respect. This title won't get me respect, but my voice will. My refusal to be what you want me to be, that's my real power. The conference ends. The reporters file out, already writing their hit pieces. Ali knows what's coming. The backlash, the hatred, the consequences. But he doesn't care anymore. Because 4 years ago, Malcolm X taught him something Helen, the waitress, never could. You don't earn respect by proving you're equal. You demand respect by refusing to accept anything less. 3 years later, April 1967, Ali refuses induction into the U.S. Army. Refuses to go to Vietnam. They ask him why. Ali says, no Viet Cong ever called me nigger. No Viet Cong ever made me stand outside a diner while my medal turned cold around my neck. They strip him of his title, his license, his freedom to fight. But here's what they can't strip: his voice. Ali spends the next 3 years speaking at colleges, giving interviews, telling the story of Jernigan's diner, of the medal in the river, of the moment he realized that being the best wasn't enough. And slowly, something remarkable happens. Young people, black and white, start listening. start questioning, start demanding change. The civil rights movement gains momentum, not just because of Martin Luther King Jr.'s dreams, but because of Muhammad Ali's rage. In 1969, something happens that would have seemed impossible 9 years earlier. Jernigan's diner closes, not because of protests, not because of boycotts, but because a new generation of Louisville residents simply refuses to eat there. Bit place that wouldn't serve an Olympic champion becomes irrelevant. The building sits empty for 2 years. Then it's torn down. Today, there's a parking lot where Jernigan's used to be. And if you look carefully, you'll find a small plaque. On this site stood Jernigan's Diner, where, in 1960, Olympic gold medalist Cassius Clay was refused service. His response to that injustice changed America forever. Muhammad Ali, 1942 to 2016. Here's what most people don't know. In 1996, Muhammad Ali was chosen to light the Olympic torch in Atlanta. The moment was broadcast to billions worldwide. As Ali stood there, hands shaking from Parkinson's disease, holding that torch, a reporter asked him, "Do you wish you still had your 1960 gold medal?" Ali smiled. That famous Ali smile. Said, "I threw that medal away for a reason. It taught me that symbols don't matter. Actions do." But there's a beautiful ending to this story. The International Olympic Committee heard what Ali said. They knew about Jernigan's, knew about the river, knew about the rage that fueled a revolution. So they made Ali a new medal, not a replacement. A brand new Olympic gold medal. When they presented it to him, Ali held it, looked at it, then looked at the Olympic official, and said something that brought tears to everyone's eyes. "This one's different." "How?" the official asked. Ali said, "The first one was for proving I was equal. This one's for proving I never needed to." That 87-cent breakfast cost Muhammad Ali everything and gave him everything. It cost him his innocence, his belief that excellence alone is enough, his gold medal sinking into river water. But it gave him something infinitely more valuable: clarity. The clarity to know that respect isn't earned through achievement, it's demanded through dignity. The clarity to know that being the best in the world means nothing if you're not free to be yourself. That 87-cent breakfast cost Muhammad Ali everything and gave him everything. It cost him his innocence, his belief that excellence alone is enough, his gold medal sinking into river water. But it gave him something infinitely more valuable: clarity. The clarity to know that respect isn't earned through achievement, it's demanded through dignity. The clarity to know that being the best in the world means nothing if you're not free to be yourself. Here's the question for you. What's your Jernigan's Diner? What's the place that told you no when you deserved yes? What's the medal you're still polishing, hoping it'll finally be enough? Because here's what Ali learned on that bridge, medal in hand, staring at river water. Excellence is not the answer to injustice. Dignity is. You don't change the world by being better than they expect. You change it by refusing to play the game at all. Muhammad Ali walked out of Jernigan's Diner in February 1960 as Cassius Clay, an Olympic champion desperate for acceptance. He walked back into the world in February 1964 as Muhammad Ali, a revolutionary who realized he never needed their acceptance in the first place. The boy who couldn't buy breakfast became the man who changed the world. And it all started with 4 words. We don't serve Negroes. Sometimes, the cruelest words plant the seeds of revolution. What injustice will you refuse to accept today? And what will you become because of it?